All right. So the next part in this adventure is to start doing some vents on the roof. Make sure I got this nice and level. So this is what's next. This out of here. So, this is our new ceiling vent. So what we've got to do, let me show you what we have inside. First I'm gonna pitch this ladder. This has probably got to be the best ladder I've ever had. It folds up into a little small compact ladder. But when you need it, it just extends each section, and then when you're done, you just push that little button at the bottom and it just collapses down to about that big. 2 rungs, actually maybe about 3, but let's see what we got. You have to make sure if you're going to stand that you stand on this rib right here where those rivets are. Not this one, this one. You can sit on it. That's a support that runs all the way across. That's where I'm gonna have to be the whole time. But, so there's my hatch opening. I gotta clean all that sealant that's around it, butyl tape, get it nice and clean, and then set the template down and drill holes so that we can mount the new one. All right, so we got 2 sewage vents, and then we have our vent for our fan all cleaned up. Just had to pull all of the silicone and old butyl tape and all that, and then I scrubbed it down with some mineral spirits to really get it cleaned up. So let me show you what I got. Okay, so you already know about the fan. So here are the 2 sewer line covers. Now one of these goes for the toilet and one goes for the bathtub and sink for the bathroom. The problem is we're going to be removing the toilet and we're going to put in a composting toilet, which means it doesn't need a vent. But it does need a vent for the fan. So my plan is to keep this in place and run the hose for the composting toilet up into this vent, and then it'll go out on the outside. There's a fan inside the composting toilet, and then the other one for the shower and sink is going to be used for the new shower and sink. So if you look at this, this is the brand that I got. It is a plumbing vent kit. So they sell just the plumbing cap, but this kit, got a little rubber band around it, and some tape. Comes with the screws, and comes with the butyl tape. So you don't have to worry about finding all that. Now the cap, the vent cap itself, not sure how it comes off. It says to remove the cap. Oh, it says just pull to remove it. So you can put the flange on. So I'm gonna go ahead and take care of that. The directions are pretty simple. Line it up over your vent. Make a take a pen, mark all your holes, best to pre-drill them, and then put your butyl tape on the bottom of the vent. This way, well, I guess it really doesn't matter what you're gonna have to do. I would put the butyl tape in first, set it down over the hole, and then take a nail and poke through each one. These they don't look like self-tapping screws. So you're gonna have to find some way to mark the holes, because when you put the butyl tape on, then you can't see the holes. So, so that's the way I'm gonna do it. I'm put the butyl tape on the bottom of the flange, put it over the vent, take a nail and punch each hole, and try to be careful not to push down too hard, because you don't want the butyl tape sticking to the trailer. And then lifting it up, pre-drilling my holes, and then I'll be able to line the holes up, because the holes will be through the butyl tape, and then put them in place. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay, actually I didn't have to pre-drill. Just give it enough pressure, it goes right through the aluminum. Just screw it down. Don't screw it down too tight, just enough till you see the butyl tape squeezing out, and that should be good. I'll just cut out that excess around the edges, and it'll be good to go. I just got to take some silicone and put it around all the screws. One thing you need to remember with the vent is to make sure that the opening is facing to the rear. You don't want the lid to open and the wind to grab it and rip it off. So you want it to face just like this to the rear. Let's get topside. So what we gotta do, take this back off. It fits perfectly in the opening. I already put some butyl tape on the bottom. You don't know, this is like an insulation, like a sealing tape. Remember, the hinge goes towards the front. So let's get this. In place, keep our wiring in. Try not to, be careful not to set it down until everything's in place. There we go. I might have to go inside and push on that flange inside. All right, so it should go down all the way. Good. So now, I'm gonna see if these screws go in as easy as the other ones. All right, this is some good stuff. Temp Pro 635, and this is the greatest Ryobi tool on the planet. I love this thing. Now you want to be literal with this stuff. Really get it in there. See if I can get this other side of the hat. Yeah, here we go. Don't need to worry about how sloppy it is. It's on the roof. Get around this one. Oh, gotta go this way. And then on top of each screw, and kind of smooth it out a little down along the edge. Make sure everything's covered. And that's it. Just smooth it out, let it dry. And I just got to put the cap on the inside. The great thing about this caulking gun is it automatically retracts, so it doesn't have caulking oozing out of the end when you're done with it. These caps here, move this over. If you line up, can't see if I'm actually looking at it. Yeah, there it is. If you line up this with this hole, that's how it should. Getting it back lined up is a pain in the booty. Yeah, do it like this. There you go. Done. All right, this is the refrigerator vent. This is, let me see. This is what was over it. And now if I can, underneath it is the vent cap. And what I've done is I've covered it with screen material and then put venting, what do you call it, AC ducting tape, that foil tape around it to hold it in place. And then I did buy this and then painted it with aluminum paint, and it's ABS plastic. And then like 2 days later, I found this, which is actually aluminum. So I'll probably sell the plastic one on eBay or something, but I want to keep it as aluminum as possible. So now, so what I got to do is I've got to put some tape on the bottom of this, reattach it, and then put some butyl tape on the bottom of that and reattach it, and then seal it up. All right, so there's the kitchen vent, or the refrigerator vent. I had to fill a bunch of extra holes, and I just put some Olympic rivets in there and sealed them with some silicone, and it looks good now compared to what was in there before. There's my vents, my fan. Last thing I got is that mess. Replace the skylight. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. So here's my vent for my oven range, and inside, I don't know if you can see it, is I covered it with some screen material and then put some sealant along the bottom to seal in the screen to keep it in. All right, so this is what I have for a skylight. So I've got to take all this off. I'm actually going to remove the top, put new butyl tape down and new rivets, because obviously it's leaking all the way around. All right, so I got the skylight off, got everything cleaned up, got trim coat put on. So now I've got to install the skylight. And it's kind of tricky because you don't want to break it when you do the rivets. So that's next, and I'll show you how to do that. All right, so the next part is we need to dry fit the skylight and determine where the operators go. So here are the new operators. This, you have to kind of hold this piston or hold the screw. Gotta get a bring this down just a little. So when you get these, this handle should loosen right up. Doesn't come attached. So it comes like this. So I had put it on just so that I can keep track of it. And I didn't put it on too tight. So you get these two handles, and you get your two operators like this. Now this one, your operators has a little hole on one side and the other. And as I'll show you when we go into the trailer. There's a mounting bracket that has a little tab on the bottom that has little nipples on each side that go in those holes. And then there's another one at the top that kind of looks like that goes over the top of this. Skylight comes with foam insulation, and then it comes with some pop rivets with little washers. Then it comes with a little explanation Tells you not to install the gasket until after you get the skylight installed, or roof vent is what they call it. The OEM, or the original roof vent, was kind of like a white. Wasn't great for allowing light in. This is smoke, so it allows some light in, gives you kind of like a tinted window, and gives you the same protection. But you have to put the operators in place and then lay the skylight down on top, position it, center it, and then mark the holes. So your best bet will be, you'll be able to see through, hopefully. I'm gonna see how I do this, because obviously I can't mark it like that unless you're not gonna be able to position it like that. So it's gotta be like that. And of course, this flange is in the way, so I can't mark it from the bottom. So we'll have to look up top, look down, and hopefully have enough light. Maybe I could take a flashlight and shine from the bottom so I can see. I'll have to see when I get up there. The light may be coming through enough so I could see it. And then mark the holes where the hinge is. And then bring the skylight back down and drill the holes. Now the important thing is to be careful when you drill the holes, to drill slow. This is like a Lexan plastic, and if you push too hard, you'll crack it. So the idea is just drill slow, take your time. So we'll do that. So let's go mount these. I don't need the handles yet. We'll get them mounted in place, and then we'll place the skylight on top. Now I'm a little windy today, and I do not want this falling off. So I'm gonna take a little towel up with me with a brick. So once I place the skylight over the top and make sure these are retracted all the way, then I'll lay the brick on top, but keep the skylight from being flown off by the wind. So let's go put these in first. So here you go. Here's the old bracket, and you're able to remove these and pop the skylight out. Get my finger out of the way and pop the skylight out anytime. So what we got to do is you got to put it up, get the first tab in there, and then let's see if I can do this with one hand. Put in the first one. Well, hold on. Yeah, so that's how it goes in. As you can see, you can pivot it down, pivot it back up. And it looks like I should be able to do it on the outside. I don't know. Have to see. Let me see if that's down all the way. Okay, there we go. That one's in place. That one's in place. So now what I got to do is make sure they're nice and level, which it looks like it is. Got the sun right up in my face. So let's place the plexi, or place the skylight on top, and see what we got. Okay, it comes with cling wrap all the way around. So just trim off the cling wrap on both sides, but leave it on the top so that you have a protected surface until you get it installed. All right, so what I eventually found out is easier way was, once I got it in place, it might be hard to see. Easier way is take a Sharpie and just trace the bracket. So I don't know if you can see it. But what I did is I traced the bracket. See if I can, I don't know if I can get it to a point where you can see it. But the bracket is just like that. So it will, so then, oh, gotta get a Sharpie. So, get it on a solid surface. Lay the bracket down right inside where I marked it. And then make a mark where you're going to drill. There's one. There's two. I've got my holes placed. So now, they do give you directions. So they're 1/8 inch rivets. And the rivets and the, if I remember correctly, the rivets and the washer go on the outside. So let's get a 1/8 inch drill bit. So your best bet is to lay this on a solid surface. So if a nice 2x4 would be perfect. There we go. Because this is kind of angled. So if I angle it a little bit, and we need to just go slow with our drill. Make sure we line it up. Give it a little pressure to get it started, but then make sure you ease up and just let the drill do the work. Go. Nice clean hole. No cracks. Do the other one. A little pressure to get it started, because you don't want the bit walking on you. Nice, clean. Oh, it's not all the way through yet. It looks like we have 2 layers of plastic here. Once I hit wood, which is on my surface here, I should be good. Nice. There we go. all this off afterwards. Remember, we kept that plastic film on it so we wouldn't have to worry about scratches. What I don't like is that because there's two layers, there's plastic shavings between the two. That's not cool at all. So once you get through the first, clean off the drill bit and then go through the second layer. Nah, I don't like that at all. But so let's see if you can see between the panels there are plastic shavings. So I'm going to see if I can maybe a vacuum. Let me see if that'll take it up. All right, vacuumed, but did not work as planned. But the brackets should cover this up so you can't see it. I just hope that they don't float down inside the glass, the two panels. Logically, the easiest way to fix this is drill through the bottom till you feel it get through, and then flip the plastic over and drill through the other side, because the shavings come up with the drill bit, and that should prevent this from happening. All right, so we got them cleaned up as much as we can. We go ahead and place our through. Take your washer, put your washer on the rivet, and then you need to make sure that you mount it with the hinge out. So you'll have to turn it and mount it like this. Whoops. This is kind of tricky. Stick your pop rivet through, and then through the hole, let me get a rivet gun. Change the tip on the rivet gun to an 1/8 inch. Stick this in here, and then make sure make sure both rivets fit right. Looks like the holes line up perfect. Now hold it, flip it over, and you should have your two rivets there. Forgot. Pull this back out. I don't want any of this plastic under my rivet. again. There's one. Line this one up. Two. This rivet gun was giving me some problems the other day. And it's working. It's not gripping like it used to, but I don't know why that's not. I have another tool for that. Definitely not. So if you look at this edge, it's like it's melted. Somehow when they sealed these two panels together, melted that. It's still going to be on the roof. I'm not going to sweat it that much. But I'm going to make a call on it. But, like I said in some of my other videos, every project has a tool. And with this project, I found this. This is made by Astro. And it is a blind rivet drill adapter that actually, basically it's a rivet gun in a drill. So I have a 5/32 inch in here. I'm going to take it out. Look for my 1/8 inch. There you go. Tighten it up. Put it on your drill. Then you reverse it till you hear it clicking. And that means the jaws are open all the way. Stick it down on here, slowly. And pops it right off. Then reverse. And you can pull that out. Do the next one. Nice rivets, nice and clean. Now, just take a little bit of silicone. Let's put some on that one. Put some on that one. Just get it around nice and good. I don't know what happened there. Make sure you get it all the way around. I'm going to make sure that that rivet is sealed up completely. This one. Remember, it's going to be on the roof. do the other side. Yeah, that's all. I guess that's normal. Looks kind of ugly, but being on a roof, that's not that big a deal. Remember, hinges out. Where's the hole? There's one. There's the other one. Now I could use this to start it because you've got to hold the operator. Yeah, something's wrong with this rivet gun because it's not pulling up enough, but it's enough to at least get them started. And then take my tool. Okay. A little silicone. Okay. Put a little bit around this one. Keep it on my finger and get the other one. There we go. Now, you peel this off. Take it inside and install it. Okay, so now I got it installed. Both sides are nice. What I need to do is I need to determine where the insulation tape is going to be. So I'm going to put a little mark here, right there, lined up with that edge. I'm going to do it the same thing here. Kind of put a little mark. Because this tells me, let's see, do it over here, then I'll do another one up here and here. So that all tells me where the edges are. This way I can put the insulation tape on and know that I'm going to be pressing on this edge when it goes to close. So the markings I have are right here. There's one right here. There's one here. One over here. And then I have two on the other side. So here's the foam that they give you to go with it. It's 7 inches, or 7 feet, sorry. So the first thing you want to do you want to go along this edge and make sure that this foam covers those marks. And then I'm going to cut this. Right here. So I'm going to go ahead and peel it off. Line it up, the first edge, and then just walk it down this edge. Being careful that it doesn't stick to anything. That's that one. The other edge and mark it. Okay, now you're gonna mark this edge right to the hinge. Piece of tape, where did it come from? Get it right up on the edge. The other side. All scratched up. Now the hinge. So The issue you have is the hinge has to rock freely. The idea I have is place your foam, close the hinge, and put this foam on the back side. This way, when it's closed all the way, it will seal, but you still have movement. And then on the other side, all right, now we need to open your operators because this foam is going to give a little more room to it. Open them both up. And let's open them all the way. Go ahead and put your handles on. Tightened it up pretty good. Okay, then we can go ahead and install. There we are, we're installed. Now we can go ahead and twist the operators to close it. It should squeeze down on that foam to make it watertight. That's it. So we now have we'll kind of even up the handles so that they look nice. There we go. All done. Now I only have one thing left to do for the ceiling. Let me hop out and show you. And that's the rain guard for the door. So all I gotta do is just pop all the rivets off, clean it up, and then put some tape behind it and seal it, and then rivet it back on. Kind of windy today, but here's the rain guard, nice and replaced. New rivets, nice and sealed, and that's all done. So if you guys got any questions for roof vents, there's my replacement fan. I still need to run the wiring once I take all the panels off, but that's all done. Now the roof should be watertight, so I can start working on the belly pan. That's next. Take all the belly pans off and get ready to finish demoing the inside. I'll do a little bit every time I come out. But if you have any questions, you have any concerns, if you like it, subscribe, mark it like, and see you on the next project.